Back for another episode of DB Sports with myself, Joel. So we're going to talk about Week 11 of the NFL season. It was a interesting week. We had some really good matchups. I'll probably say, I think this week's matchups were probably the most biggest matchups we've had so far of some of the teams that went against each other this week compared to all the other 11 weeks that we've had. But let's get down to it. Starting off the week was with the Commander versus the Eagles, which I was the two top teams right there, the Commanders and the Eagles, of who would win and who's the best team in that division. Because Commanders are being the surprising team of the year, and Eagles being the Eagles. But we had the Commanders versus the Eagles. Eagles winning 26-18. Um, it was a really good game, highly entertaining. Daniel still looked good. It just showed the Eagles are just a better team. Commander, I think, are about a year or two ahead of themselves. I don't think much people expected them to be this good, so I think they're about a year or two ahead of themselves. Honestly, we had the Seattle Seahawks versus the San Francisco 49ers. Seattle winning 20-17. 49ers did not. They're just injury prone. I think we had over like 8 guys from our starting team, offense and defense, who are out. We are just injuries this year. That's all we are. We're in the middle of the pack right now, so like we're worst spot to be. We're just injury prone. I really don't know what's gonna happen with us. I think Seattle's a middle level team too. I don't think they're one of the top teams. They're not one of the worst teams either, in my opinion. We'll see how that goes. We had, once again, probably the game of the week. I would probably say game, either the first game, the number one game of the week, or number two game of the week. We had the Baltimore Ravens versus the Pittsburgh Steelers. And the Pittsburgh Steelers winning 18-16. If you know Steelers and Baltimore's rivalry, their games in their history, don't expect a high scoring game. I don't care how fucking good their offenses are. That's always a hard game. And they go at each other. So expecting a high scoring game, good luck on that one. Steelers look good. They have a good defense. Russell Wilson is doing good. He does good enough to where they're not going to make mistakes. He's a Super Bowl winning champion. He knows what to do and what not to do. They're a good team. And with that coach, Tomlin, he's always having a good team. Like, I don't have bad teams. Baltimore still looks good. They're just not very good in defense so much. They make a lot of mistakes. We had the Jacksonville Jaguars versus Detroit Lions. Detroit Lions being, to a lot of people, the number one team or number two team, especially easily number one team in the NFC. But Detroit winning 52-6. I believe like the first 8 drives, there was all touchdowns within the first 8 drives. Detroit looking good. It's just they went against Jacksonville Jaguars, so it's not. Lower that down just a little bit. We had the Los Angeles Rams versus the New England Patriots. Los Angeles Rams winning 28-22. Rams, good team. They have a good quarterback. Stafford, he's a very proven quarterback, very good quarterback. They just don't have full of the team. I think all those years that they were really going for the championships, trading away all their first round picks, slowly has affected the Los Angeles Rams. They're still in the hunt, technically, and they're always going to be right there with that quarterback, that coach, and they have some good players on the team, especially their offensive receivers that they have. It's crazy. Tuka Baklu and Cooper, that's just really, they'll always be in the game. But mid-level team in New England Patriots are just New England Patriots, and they're not. This year, they're not good. We had the Browns versus the New Orleans Saints. New Orleans Saints beating the Browns. Browns, man, that's just a franchise that always fucking sucks. Since the Jim Brown days, they fucking suck. In my lifetime, they've never been fucking good for more than 1 year. It's a team that actually has a defense, actually has players. They just don't have a fucking quarterback or a good coach to teach that fucking team. They definitely need to get a new fucking quarterback. Watson, no. We had the Indianapolis Colts versus the New York Jets. Indianapolis Colts winning 28-27. They brought back the quarterback. They benched him for 2 games. They said he wasn't playing good enough. It was also because he fucking quit. New York Jets are done. That's their season. Like one of the most epic fails in all seasons. New York Jets fans, they're used to this shit since fucking Joe Burrow, whatever the fuck that guy's name in the fucking NFL barely started. They haven't been good at all. But hey, Colts, they continue winning. Minnesota Vikings versus the Tennessee Titans. I don't hold nothing on Minnesota Vikings because they're on a 2-game losing streak. Minnesota winning 23-13 because they went against Tennessee, one of the best defenses. They just don't have an offense to save their fucking life. They're still a very young incoming team. This is what most people thought the Commanders would be. The Commanders are a little ahead. Tennessee has a decent quarterback, very good defense. Just a little bit behind. Minnesota, Minnesota's still being Minnesota. We had the Las Vegas Raiders versus the Miami Dolphins. Miami Dolphins winning 34-19. Las Vegas Raiders being the Las Vegas Raiders. None of us give a fuck if it's in LA, Oakland, Las Vegas. It's the Raiders being the Raiders. Have a good team. Some talent around there. They just don't have a good fucking owner, coach, and quarterback. We had the Green Bay Packers versus the Chicago Bears. Green Bay Packers winning 20-19. Green Bay, they were the highly talented team coming out there, especially Jordan Love. He was going to be the MVP, the next star. And they have settled themselves down a little. I still think they're a good team. They won't be easy, especially when it starts getting snowy and cold over there in Green Bay. It will never be easy to play in there. I think they might be a little bit of a threat, especially in the second half of the year, finishing off strong. And the Chicago Bears, man, I don't think they'll fire the head coach this season. Well, during the season, it's an off-season, that motherfucker's gone. But that's a team that's struggling right there. Struggling very much. We had the Atlanta Falcons versus the Denver Broncos. Atlanta Falcons did good last weekend. I don't know what the hell happened this week. They played Denver Broncos. Bad defense. Denver winning 38-6. Bo Nix. I didn't truthfully expect shit from him. He's proven me wrong for this year for the moment. He's playing really good. I'm very proud of Bo Nix. He's doing really good. The game of the week. You could argue this was the game of the week. There's one or two. We had Kansas City Chiefs versus the Buffalo Bills. Pretty much 2 teams. It's the Peyton Manning and Tom Brady of this new generation now. Their games are never not exciting. It's always close. And we had the Buffalo Bills beating the Kansas City Chiefs. Now we really have to see if they play in the playoffs, how they do against each other. Truthfully, it's always close. We had the Cincinnati Bengals versus the Los Angeles Chargers. Chargers winning 34-27. Chargers to me are not top team, but they're not a low team. They're a middle team, just like I talked about how Seattle and the Niners are. It's gonna be interesting how the Chargers do with their Herbert and their coach. That should be very interesting to see. And then Monday night we had the Texans versus the Cowboys. Cowboys just fucking suck. They're not a very good team this year. Unfortunately, they lost their quarterback. Texans win 34-10. Texans are, I think, our top 3 team in the NFC. The AFC, top 3 team. Top 4 team there. Right in the Chiefs, Bills, and Ravens. My personal opinion, I thought we're Steelers actually now. Top 4, top 5 actually. Team of in the AFC. But that is my Week 11 breakdown. And with that, I will give you a video into this week for my picks for this week. Thank you guys for the likes and the support.